Tonight, you will flush a toilet and forget about it. For most city humans in history, the waste did not disappear. It stayed close, under windows, in streets, in the same rivers people drank from. You wake before sunrise because your body gives you no choice. It is 4,000 years ago. The room is dark. Other people are sleeping close enough to hear you move. There is no flush toilet and no system that makes waste vanish. So you take the pot, step outside, and join the oldest urban problem. This is the oldest urban problem humans never solved. Not really. Not for thousands of years. In a small camp, waste is easy. You walk away from the fire, you go, and the wind and the sun and the insects handle the rest. The group moves. The ground recovers. There is no plumbing because there is no problem. The problem starts the day humans stop moving, the day food gets stored, the day walls go up, the day 1,000 people sleep within sight of each other. Suddenly, every body in that 1,000 is producing waste in the same square mile, every day for a lifetime. Nobody planned for this. Nobody had ever seen it before. The first cities tried 3 things at once. Hold it briefly, bury it nearby, move it with water, if water was available. The pot in the house was simple. A clay vessel, often shaped like a bowl with a low rim, kept near where people slept. In the morning, someone had to carry it out. In some places, it went into a pit. In others, into a shared trench. In others, onto the street. Yes, onto the street. This was not because people were stupid. It was because the city had grown faster than its plumbing. Pits in the yard were better, when the soil allowed it. Dig a hole, use it, cover it, dig a new one. Cities at first had room for this. Then the city grew. Then there were no more yards. Then the pits filled. Then the smell came back. Streets were the worst answer, and in crowded cities, they became part of the answer too often. In medieval European cities, residents on upper floors sometimes emptied chamber pots into the lane below. In some cities, a shouted warning was the polite version. In others, there was no warning. Pedestrians learned to walk under awnings. Cloaks were not just for weather. And then there was water. Water was the dream. If you lived near a river or a canal, it could carry waste away from your house. It could also bring drinking water, washing water, and cooking water back toward you. The river was doing 2 opposite jobs in the same channel. You can guess how that ended. But humans, sometimes, were smarter than this. In the Indus Valley, around 4,500 years ago, in cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, you would have seen something stunning. Brick-lined drains running under the street. Many houses had a small bathing area with a drain pipe. The drain pipe ran into a covered street drain. The street drain ran out of the city. Some drains could be inspected through brick-lined access points. Some homes had what looks very much like an indoor toilet, with a clay seat over a chute. 4,500 years ago. Nobody is sure how the Indus Valley built one of the most advanced early city sanitation systems we know. They left no readable writing that we can decode. But the bricks are still in the ground. The slope is still measurable. The plan is still obvious. Somebody in a city we cannot read decided that waste belonged underground and that everyone deserved a drain. The Romans, 2,000 years later, scaled pieces of this up. The Cloaca Maxima, the great drain and later sewer of Rome, carried water from the central forum toward the Tiber. Public latrines were long stone benches with holes cut at intervals. People sat shoulder to shoulder. Conversation continued. Ancient sources describe a sponge on a stick, though exactly how it was used is still debated. There was no privacy. There was, finally, drainage. But most of Rome was not the forum. Most Romans lived in apartment blocks called insulae, sometimes 5 or 6 stories tall. Those apartments did not have plumbing. People used pots, And the pots went out the same way they had always gone out, down to the street, into a collector's cart if you were lucky, out the window if you were not. After Rome's Western Empire weakened, large-scale urban drainage became harder to maintain in many places. Some systems survived, others clogged, broke, or were stripped for parts. Cities did not simply forget sanitation, but many lived with worse streets than they had once known. The plague, when it came, did not invent dirty cities. It found them. The pattern repeats in many places humans built cities. A clever solution appears. Then the city outgrows the solution. Then the next generation lives with the smell. Then someone invents the next solution. Then it happens again. What humans did before toilets, in the end, was endure. The smell was the city. The smell was the price of living near other people, near markets, near temples, near safety. You stopped noticing it the way you stopped noticing a fire that has been burning all night. But the body never fully accepts it. Disease followed waste. Cholera, typhoid, dysentery, diseases that killed children by the cartload, moved through cities along the exact paths that waste moved. One reason many families had so many children was that so many children did not survive the water. The flush toilet, the modern version, is barely 150 years old as a household standard in many wealthy countries. Indoor plumbing for the average person is younger than photography. For most of the human story, going to the bathroom meant walking outside, holding a pot, or accepting a smell. Tonight, you will flush a toilet and forget about it. The water moves because somebody dug a tunnel. The tunnel works because somebody learned the slope. The slope was learned in cities you have never heard of, by people who decided that the smell did not have to be the city. They were right. The miracle is not the porcelain. It is the distance between your body and the river. What modern convenience would break you fastest if it vanished? Put it in the comments. The toilet moved waste away. Clean water had its own deadly story.